Hey guys, it's postboxpat and welcome back to a new video, and today I'm going to be talking about the impulse grenade, telling you guys some tips and tricks of it, how you can use it to win your games, showing you a little bit of gameplay and just going over some ideas that you can use with the impulse, talking a little bit about it in depth and stuff and what I think of it and where's it going to sit in the meta. So let's get straight into this. So if you didn't know, the impulse grenade has come out today in today's update with a bunch of other little changes there and then that I'm not going to cover too much, but I will link down the changelog if you guys want to check it out. There's a few little things to talk about the end of Season 2 Battle Pass, and they also talk about the Season 3 Battle Pass and stuff like that coming, which is going to be cool. I'm going to cover that in another video, but that's interesting. We've also got a bunch of cool Valentine's stuff going ahead at the moment with all cool events and skins and stuff, so get involved in that if you've got time for it. It is really awesome and it's cool to try some new stuff out. Other than that, there isn't too much coming in this update. There's been quite a few changes behind the scenes, as the update was quite a big size. It was roughly about 7 GB on Xbox. Don't know what size it was on the other consoles, but it is a decent size update. Probably a few more things been added into the game in the background that will eventually come out just with small patches, maybe new weapons and stuff, and obviously the idea of SMGs going, that's a pretty key element, and that'll be programmed into this game to remove the SMGs, not LMGs, to remove the SMGs into the vault. So that's going to be interesting. But let's get straight into this and talk a little bit more about the impulse grenade. So what exactly does it do? Well, it sends your enemies flying. And what's the good thing about this? Well, it's pretty interesting to see them adding in something like this. This grenade is very effective and it can be used for several uses, and that's what I want to go over in this video. You get 3 impulse grenades currently from a chest, which will probably stay that amount, but you've got to consider how many grenades there are in the game. There are 4 different types of grenades now. You've got impulse, smoke grenade, the boogie bomb, and the standard grenades. So it's going to be even rarer to get hold of each different grenade. So the grenades are becoming more scarce. However, it is an interesting thing. Personally, I think they should add a separate slot for grenades into the game so we could carry more grenades, and you could at least carry one choice of grenade. So you could either carry normal grenades, impulse, smoke, or boogie, and they all have their own advantages. But let's talk about impulse. One of the main advantages is this right now. You can use the impulse to travel distance at quite a quick pace, especially if it's on a flat land. You can travel a good distance. This would be good for running in the storm, getting away from enemies and stuff like this. It kind of reminds me of an ender pearl from Minecraft. If you guys remember, on Minecraft console or Minecraft any edition really, to be honest, I used to play a lot on Minecraft console, but the ender pearls were very easy to get hold of, and what you'd do is you'd throw the ender pearl, you'd throw the pearl into the sky and it would teleport you to that location. It's a similar aspect with the impulse grenade. However, the impulse grenade doesn't teleport you, it pushes you out with like sort of like a pushing motion. I don't know exactly what it does, but it's like a sound type thing. It reminds me of one of the grenades from Overwatch. It's an interesting weapon and it's something that potentially could be pretty cool. I think it was Farah, I think it's called, the flying girl with the jetpack on Overwatch. She used to have a grenade which you could throw or fire at someone from your wrist and it'd send people flying, which is similar to the impulse grenade. The impulse grenade is also very effective in a lot of group fights or if you're sieging a base. For example, if people are at the top of their base, you can pop this into their base and it will send people flying outside the base, and they can also take fall damage from it and even get a nice lovely kill from it if they fall off the map. Very interesting, and it's something that possibly a lot of you guys could take part in if you got some free time with the impulse grenade to get out there and get trying it out. So in this gameplay, I do have one moment which is absolutely epic with the impulse grenade, but I'm kind of just describing them to you guys, some moments that you guys can do, because it is interesting if you can get yourself hands on. You can also use impulse grenades for trolling your friends and messing around, which is quite fun. I've seen a few people knock their friends off the map and stuff, and it's kind of annoying, but if you're having a little bit of fun and you're not intending on winning the game, you can go ahead and do things like that. I wouldn't recommend it, but again, if you are having a little bit of fun there and then, it's something that possibly the impulse grenade could be used for. A little bit like the boogie bomb. You could even boogie bomb then impulse, which would be absolutely hilarious. You can get a lot of kills from high tall mountains and places like that. For example, if I was on top of a mountain or something, they could go flying off the mountain and possibly do an absolute ton of fall damage and me get the kill. The downside to getting a fall damage kill, if you don't know, is it doesn't actually class as your kill. It'll just say la-di-la fell to their death. So unfortunately, it is kind of annoying and it's not the best thing to do, and it's a little bit frustrating, but it is interesting and it's something that I do really enjoy doing. I think the impulse grenade really has had a big impact on myself. I love using it, especially in a squad game mode. Personally, I don't see much use for it in solo. Solo is one of them game modes where you've got to carry them heals, mad heals. You've got to have them mad heals. Use them heals to like heal yourself up, and that's really what you need in solo, to be honest. Whereas when you're playing on squad, you can have a dedicated medic, or maybe 2 of you carrying different items, or each of you are carrying different things, or depends on what like role, the way you roll with it. Depends however you want to do it really. So choose what you want to do. Usually I like to take mini potions and or bandages or something like that. So I've got a decent healing item on me, and we've all got healing items on us. That's personally the best thing, but I know some people like to have a dedicated medic and stuff like that. You can do all sorts of different techniques of it. But with the grenades being quite rare now, I suggest everyone usually taking a set of grenades or something, like a certain type. Personally, I do think that adding so many items into the game, it's going to get really difficult to decide what's going on and what item to carry and stuff. And if you didn't already know, I believe the revolver now fires medium ammo, medium ammo, which is kind of frustrating because that's the bullets that you fire in your AR. But to be honest, who really uses revolvers? Not many people. I've got nothing against the revolver. It's just not a common choice of item to take people out with. A lot of people always use an AR and a shotgun. They are clearly the most two used items in the game, and with them removing SMGs from the game, it's going to be an interesting decision to see exactly what's going to be going on within Fortnite Battle Royale. Now, with us having 4 grenades in the game, what can we expect in the future? Now, this is a sort of question I've asked myself several times with grenades. I didn't really think they'd bring all these sort of grenades out without having that extra inventory space. Now, with them removing the SMGs, that does free up the drop rate, allowing more like grenades and stuff to spawn, and because obviously the SMGs are going to be taken off the map, we're going to be getting a lot more drop rates around the map. And with the new medium bullets being used in the revolver, that also means you're going to get a lot more medium bullets, because there's going to be medium bullets next to every revolver, which is kind of useful, and then small bullets are going to be getting reduced. Obviously, if SMGs are being taken out, you've now only got pistols, silenced pistols, and I believe it would be what do you call death machines. That's it. The death machine, or should I say the minigun, they are going to be harder to find. The small light bullets for that, the small bullets, the light bullets, whatever you want to call them, it is going to be hard to get hold of them for the miniguns. So the light bullets are going to be difficult, and it's something interesting that I think Epic Games have really considered within the game. Obviously, we're seeing different things change within the meta all the time. We've seen the rocket launcher really come out the meta really recently. The rocket launcher has really started to see a dip in its meta play. It's good at squads and stuff like that, but when it comes down to it, that 2-shot rocket kill ain't a nice kill, or ain't a nice thing to do when you're against a squad of 4, 1v4 or something like that. It needs to be faster either reload or faster velocity in the air, so the rocket can hit the target a lot quicker. With everyone usually having an average of 125 health, imagine you've been taken down 75 health and used 2 medium potions. That's usually the average health you can expect to have in a Fortnite game, between 125 and 150. It's kind of frustrating, so you're going to be coming against a lot of people that are possibly going to survive the rocket every single time, even if you've got an upgraded rocket. So simply, they could just make every rocket do 125 damage, and obviously the better ones could do a little bit more, like 128 and 130 maybe, I don't know. There's the epic and legendary. They just need to make it so it's capping above the average. They could also increase the reload speed of the rocket back to the way it used to be. That could be very overpowered in some ways. However, it wouldn't be that overpowered because the average health is a lot higher. With all the health items currently in the game, you can be really very limited, or you won't even know what to carry with you, and you're basically going to be always at 125 health, so you are limited on what you can carry and stuff. So it is interesting, and to see people using rockets and stuff, and to see people taking med kits and stuff like that over rocket launchers is kind of a bit disappointing. It kind of just annoys me, and knowing that the rocket and the grenade launcher are probably one of the 2 best weapons in the game if you know how to use them, because they can be very effective in all state situations. The grenade launcher, I've seen it being used a lot more than the rocket launcher recently, because of the idea of the grenade just bouncing around. It's complete random most of the time, and I think it's an interesting concept that can very easily turn fights around if you manage to suppress the grenade launchers into the right area. Now in this gameplay, as you can see, there's a bunch of cool stuff going on with the impulse grenades. Actually, in a moment, I will put this on screen right now. This is some of the gameplay with the impulse that I want to go over. So here it is right now. So in this situation, we are by the cargo yard, and there's a lot of fights going on down here, and unfortunately our friend has been down by their commander mace. So I'm suppressing with the scar. I get one down nicely with the scar over there, and I keep suppressing with the scar, trying to get the kill off, and I get a nice swift kill there. There's now another guy in front of me at my southwest, and I'm thinking we've got to suppress this guy out a little bit. There's 2, so it's time for an impulse. I throw an impulse in and watch the spring. That guy goes flying, and that pushes him well away, and he actually makes a run for it. I try getting a few grenades off, but my grenade throws just ain't perfect enough to get it, and the guy manages to escape. And again, I throw some more grenades down there to pressure it. With grenades bouncing everywhere and me not really aiming the grenades too well, they're more of like a pressure thing rather than trying to get kills with them. But that was a pretty effective pulse grenade, and that's the sort of thing you can use these pulse grenades for. They're very useful in situations like that, and that can help you in many situations. The person further back possibly is the one I'd recommend using the pulse grenade. It does stick to the ground as well when you throw it, so that situation there was epic, and I could do that many times to have like that epic moment where the pulse or impulse grenade, or whatever you want to call it, impulse grenade, gets that little push away, forcing them to either run away or be separated from their team. Very interesting, a very good factor to use. I personally think it's probably one of the best moments that I've had with the impulse grenade so far. I've been calling it pulse grenade, but it's impulse grenade. Oops. But it is an interesting weapon, and it's something that anybody could possibly use and take with their loadout. Solo, again, I wouldn't recommend taking it, but that is up to you guys. The last guy's here. He gets absolute tons of damage on me there, unfortunately, so I just heal up quickly with my bandages and my team try and take him out. This is the last moment I'm going to show in this video, but it's an epic moment. Basically, that guy wipes out all 3 of my teammates, and I'm the last one here. And in this gameplay, I do pretty well. Unfortunately, I didn't go to get the win, but I did pretty well. I almost clutched it at the end, but unfortunately, I just didn't. So I'm not going to show the entire gameplay. It was just 1v3 at the end. I took out one of them, and then the other 2 took me out, so it was unfortunate. But you can see I clutched that for the team there. Got a nice little revive here, then I go to do that. It's pretty interesting. I think I finished the game on about 6 kills. I killed 1 normal guy, killed 1 other guy, and then unfortunately get wiped out by a team of 2. So that's unfortunate, but that's what happens. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. And if you are new around here, stick around because I do Fortnite content every single day. It's awesome. I enjoy doing it. It's amazing to bring it to you guys. I hope this helps you win your games in the future. Some tips and tricks using the impulse grenade. And once again, this is postboxpat signing out.